Welcome back, guys. Today we are working on the rear suspension for the 65 GTO. Excuse the mess back there. Just have all my stuff set up to try and all my instructions and whatnot. So we're going to be putting the rear end in, including basically the lower control arms, the black ones there. The red adjustable ones are the uppers here. These guys, my Lakewood shocks, sway bar, and these are braces. This guy here. These braces go, actually I'll show you right now. So, these guys are supposed to bolt in there. The forward lower trailing arm, control arm, whatever you want to call it, and then the upper right there. So that's just a little bit more bracing. I actually bought braces for the rear end. They're called kind of like traction bars, quote unquote. They're like the old school, but these were supposed to go on to the rear end. But I believe they'll work fine for the stock rear end, but they don't fit very well with the strange rear end. So I don't think I can use them. So I'm just going to put it together stock. Hopefully these braces will help me out a little bit, you know, when I'm trying to put the power down, but we'll just have to see how it goes. And I'm sure there's other solutions out there I may have to look into. But that's pretty much the basics of it outside of the springs. Springs go on these perches here, and then they'll just get a little clamp. These little oyster looking things right here will clamp the springs on the bottom, and then they'll just sit in these little these things in here, and you can see where it's bumped up right there, hopefully, for the top of the spring to sit in there. Shocks go here, and then on the bottom right here, and then the lower control arms are adjustable on the rear end in these holes right there. So in theory, should be fairly straightforward. Going to be a lot of time lapse again, just like the front, and then yeah, if anything interesting pops up or I have any issues or whatever, I'll let you guys know. I'll stop and talk to you, but yeah, stay tuned and I'll get to work. Alright guys, check it out. So the rear end is probably about 99% done. What I did was I just went ahead and cranked down all these bolts here, but not you know, not tight at all. It's just basically try to run them all down as close as I could, and then once I get the body back on the frame, then I'll have to go under and tighten everything down to the torque specs. Most of them seem to be around 60 to 80 foot-pounds, so I mean, not that big of a deal. Something like this stuff, you know, should be fairly easy to get to with the holes in the frame to get to the nuts and all that. But I just wanted to give you a full shot of everything here, in case you couldn't really see it very well in the time lapse, how the Sway bar is mounted there, same on the other side. And just you probably can't see it because of the jack stand, but the one bolt there for the shock. One from the bottom on the sway bar here. We're just gonna have to start out with that and see how it goes. That's the shock mount there, or the spring mount, I mean. You can see the washer, and the little spacer there, or almost like a giant washer, if you will. And all that stuff is just snugged up. These two here for the shock on the bottom. That's how I did that. And that should pretty much be it for the rear. I just need to, this one I'm not too sure about either, the, you know, how exactly to orient these, the upper mounts. And just for better traction, obviously, is what I'm going for. So those will probably have to get adjusted to some degree in the future, but they're pretty easy to get to under the car, so I'm not worried about that. I'll just get them set kind of somewhere midway in the middle, just as a starting point, and then we'll take it from there. But the rear suspension was actually pretty easy. Not too bad, not nearly as crazy as the front. Trying to get those A-arms back in the original spots and stuff has been kind of a nightmare on the front. I'm still working on it, as a matter of fact. So you'll probably see this video before you see the front. Oh, and I just wanted to show you guys these braces finished up here too before I forget. That's basically how they go. As you can see, the little triangulation there should help out a little bit. Still kind of debating some kind of cross brace in here. I mean, the trans cross member will help to a degree, but I'm not sure. We'll just have to see how it goes, I guess. One more quick thing I forgot to tell you guys. All these control arms and whatnot have, I'm not sure if you can see them on this one here, but the little Zerk fittings or whatever for greasing. And I'm not sure if you can see that one or not. Maybe the one up front there. Little red cap. So that's one thing that I'm gonna have to do. I have to get a little grease gun and hit all these little Zerk fittings. I mean, they should be good to go. They are greased from the manufacturer, from what I've read in the literature. But even in the literature, they said it's not gonna hurt to go ahead and give them a little more grease, you know, once you get the car on the ground and everything. So just a quick heads up on that. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Please continue to comment, like, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the front suspension, and we'll see you on the next one.